everybody, it's Frankie-Lou. I'm standing here today in front of Mount Milk Jug on our homestead here in Golden, where I'm going to do a little maintenance today. I'm checking these out. About half of them have germinated, and so I'm going to be, and some of them are feeling light, so I'm going to water. But I also have to move these, not for any reasoning due to their exposure to sunlight or moisture, but because now that the snow has melted away, this is kind of precarious and I don't want any of them knocking over. So I'm going to go place them against the greenhouse on the south wall. In that location, they're still going to be exposed to full sun, but they're not going to be tipped over if a big strong gust of wind comes through. So I'm going to show you how to do some watering and checking for germination and checking on things while I do that. So let's get started. I wanted to discuss a few of the things that folks are mentioning in their comments as I'm going here, because I know a lot of folks are worried about germinating too much or not germinating enough, or why have some germinated and some haven't. This is heavy, this is it. I just wanted to show you how there can be great variability between jugs that are even of the same variety, even if they're planted on the same dates. So for instance here, this is sorrel that was planted on January 21st, and these two are sorrel that were planted on February 16th. Now this has got just a few little items germinated and it's still heavy. I'm not going to water that. These two, which were planted on February 16th, later have a lot of germination and they're both light. This one's lighter than the other one. See, they're all the same plant, planted at different times. These two were planted at the same time and they're different. I'm not worried. One of the reasons I took on Wintersowing in the first place is because I was too busy to have to worry about a ton of seedlings. And here's a perfect example of me not being worried, even though there's tremendous variability between these three. So please don't worry. Your jug will sprout when it's supposed to. And if it's sprouted already, great. The only thing you need to be more concerned about then is making sure they don't dry out. So I'm going to place these just up against the south wall here. I do like to have my jugs out in full exposure in the sun, and I used to worry about moving them around a lot depending on the temperatures and the variability in snow and precipitation, but I stopped doing that because I did some tests, but I didn't see a lot of variability in my results. So now I just plan to leave them out exposed to as much sun and as much precipitation as they can be while having some wind protection. And one of the ways I do that is I do group them close together so they're less likely to blow over than one jug sitting all alone in a bed somewhere. Like I said, these are both light. This one is lighter than the other one. Same plant, planted on the same day. And I have this basin with a few inches of water. I'm going to pop them in. That's watering. It's not a big difficult thing. I know a lot of folks like to spray on top. I don't like to do that for multiple reasons. One, it's more fussy. You have to be careful in making sure you're getting in there enough. Two, sometimes the young seedlings, particularly if the water comes down the side, get inundated on the edge and you can damage the seedlings. I just find this to be a far more gentler way to do it, and I can do other things while these are floating and getting ready to sink and take on water from the basin. So something that's absolutely essential is those drainage holes. If you didn't happen to see a video when you first got started about preparing a jug properly, those drainage holes are almost the most important thing that you do right. Make sure you have enough drainage holes. And also, if you find that your jugs are sitting in water, like maybe there's a place that's pooling up in your yard, move them out of there, because getting your jugs waterlogged is a sure way to ensure they won't work, okay? You want to make sure that those seedlings have an opportunity to drain properly, just as you would if you were planting seedlings anywhere else. So I'm going to move a few more jugs over and talk about a couple of other things that I've got going on. All four of these have germinated, which is great. And a few of these are those snugs that I had done a couple demos on. Super excited. Looks like the results are great for that. Which brings up another reason for bottom watering. You want your roots to stretch downwards. Okay, if you're watering from the top, there's no incentive for those little guys to go as deep as they can. And particularly with these snugs where I've planted some deep rooted crops, I want those roots to go down deep. So my beets, for instance, they need watering, they're a little light. These ones don't though. The Guyland is fine. And these Tom Thumb lettuce, they gotta go in. So they're gonna go in. I'm gonna keep piling stuff up here. Whew, let's see. The ones that I popped in a few minutes ago, the sorrel, woo, they're much heavier. They've taken enough water on. One of them, this one here, still looks dry on top. So that is another reason why you have to actually do those lifting of them up individually. Because sometimes the jug will appear to be quite dry on top, but you pick it up and it's heavy. And sometimes it'll appear moist on top and you pick it up and it's light. Go by weight, not by how it looks. I'm gonna have to get changed soon because I'm gonna be going and doing some heavy labor and getting all dirty in the greenhouse. And that's another question that I get from lots of folks. Why are you still doing this when you have this magnificent structure to work in? Well, when it comes to my hardy perennials, honestly, I get better results with the milk jugs going through that cold stratification, being outside and going through all that crazy erratic weather variability that we have than I do in the glorious greenhouse. I'm gonna go get some more jugs. Okay, and this is pretty exciting. I checked on this lovage yesterday. It was planted on February 6th and there was nothing. Today, we've got like 10 in there, so that's exciting. Nobody needs 10 lovage plants, but I guess I'm gonna have that. And it's light, so I'm gonna protect those seedlings by popping them in. But this sorrel is heavy. Echinacea, not up yet. That's okay, it is light, I'm gonna pop it in there. So I guess my number one message today as I'm working away is don't fret, don't worry. It's all going to be different. My results are different year after year after year. I saw a video yesterday, one of those video memories, that I only saw first germination on April 15th one year, whereas here I've had germination for a few weeks. And in Alberta, I got germination last week. Don't worry. I guess if you got nothing else to take away from this, is don't worry. Also, a lot of folks worry about the erratic temperature changes at this point in the season. Well, yesterday I was out here working in shorts and a tank top. Today I woke up to snow. Now it's beautiful. I'm gonna have to go put on shorts and tank top to work in the greenhouse again in the dirt, but these jugs are fine. They don't care. All right, that's one of the beauties of this. You don't have to fuss, you don't have to worry, you don't have to fret. Just try to enjoy your gardening season and the joy of seeing germination, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That one's a little light. Ooh, rhubarb, yay, my favorite. The rhubarb, by the way, is crowning in the gardens. Oh, that one's ready to go in. See, like, once you do this the first time, you'll understand, like the difference between a heavy jug and one that's light is significant. You can also see it's taken on a lot of water. It's darker from the bottom, but you can feel the weight more than anything else. Whoopsie, you silly girl. You silly girl. Luna is a very good guardian of milk jugs, but actually a lot of folks do have to worry about their pets. Another thing you may want to do to protect your milk jugs if you do have animals is some folks tie them together so they can't be taken away individually as a chew toy. Oh yes. Those of you who've known me for some time know that I'm an extraordinarily clumsy person, and that is another reason why I love the new snugs, because I dropped a few, right? I dropped and a few tipped over, and whereas my other jugs that weren't wrapped tightly in that snug formation with the seed snail, I got a couple that chives that got kind of, I'm not sure if they're gonna grow. I'm gonna leave them, they might anyways, but they tipped over and they got all displaced. But the snugs stayed nice and intact. So if you do worry about wind or dogs or clumsiness like myself, I would suggest trying the snugs out. Okay, just finishing up here. As you can see, I've got these guys lined up against a wall where there's no overhang, so they've got lots of access to both sunlight and precipitation. All the jugs are now nice and heavy. I found that about 1/5 of them needed watering today, and I'm not gonna have to check them for another week. And that's the other beautiful thing about this method is my seedlings inside the greenhouse need to be checked daily. These are once a week, right? So there are lots of benefits, and that's one of the major ones. Quick recap. Make sure you're checking on your jugs now for watering and for placement. They're not sitting somewhere where they're going to be waterlogged or exposed to lots of wind. Grouping them together like this is a really good idea. I do find that landscapes change as snow disappears, so go check. If you don't have any snow in your yard anymore, it's okay. You're still winter sowing, still lots of cold left. There's still plenty of time to even start. If you just joined us here, you could still get all your winter sowing done at this point in the season, because it's just mid-April, and honestly, we're not going to be putting these in the ground outside till the last week of May or the first week of June in most zone 3 areas. Okay, so not too late to start, and you could get everything out at this point. So a lot of folks, I came onto it myself the first time many moons ago at the end of the season, and I got great results. So give it a try. Even if you're thinking you gotta wait till next year, you don't. If you live in a zone 3 environment particularly. Make sure you're checking each of your jugs independently. Bottom watering is best for many reasons. Do give the snugs a try. You can check out how to do a snug in my previous videos. And as always, I hope you'll take this chance to grow together today. And don't worry, they're gonna work out great. Have a good one, everyone.